Coach Pete.
It's a rough night for the Seahawks tonight. We did not do what we had planned to do at all, and I thought it was a really good night for the Rams. They did a lot of stuff that they wanted to do. They were able to control the ball and move it like they wanted to and stay pretty secure with it for the most part as well. And they did a nice job on us early in the game. Without question, early in the game, they were controlling the tempo, and it took us a bit to get – we weren't surprised by it, but we just didn't handle it as well as we would like. And it took us a while to get settled down. And once we got settled down, then the second half was a different game. But it was too much of a surge in the first half we weren't able to overcome. We made our efforts. We made the things that we do to get us back in it. We got a couple great picks and a great touchdown, McQuandre, and blocked the field goal too. We did the kinds of things that we needed to do, but we needed a couple plays on the other side to go ahead and take advantage of it, and we weren't able to find it. So difficult night, and you got to hand it to them. They played great. They did just what they wanted to do. So it's really the interesting thing about it. It doesn't change anything for us. We had to win this game, and now we have to win the next one and keep on rolling if we're going to do anything with this season, which we have a chance to do. And we got to go about our business. So it's really important for us to go ahead and move on and get rolling and stay true to what's next. And that's how we do it anyway. And so it'll be handy. It'll be helpful for us and our mentality. So it's a good game for them.
What do you know about Rashad?
He got ACL sprain, and we don't know how serious it is, but it's significant.
You said ACL?
Yeah, that's what I was told.
Was Russ feeling okay?
Yes. Russell?
Yeah, Russell.
Yes.
What were they doing defensively that made things tough on you guys tonight?
Well, we kind of moved the ball. We felt like we ran the ball for, I don't know, more than what we've been averaging, 5 yards or something like that. But we didn't convert on third down, and really there was two crucial third downs when we really had, there's third down and the fourth down when we had our chances and we just need to keep moving, and we just didn't, convert, and the ball got away from us. In a game where they were really moving it, we had to stay with them, and we just didn't convert like we needed to keep the ball in our hands and keep the next sequence, the series, available for us.
Their tempo specifically. What's the response to that? Does it get lined up quicker? Or?
We just had to clean things up. We weren't making our calls enough, and they did a nice job. They always do, and we prepared for it and all. But there was a couple things that happened that made it a little more difficult, and we just didn't get settled in. And so the first two drives for them were really, really well executed by them, and we didn't do well enough. And you settled down, and we were okay after that.
So rough night for Seattle in LA, but if they went out, they win their division. Simple as that. They might even win the whole conference. They're favored in 2 of the 3 remaining games, according to the Football Power Index. They finished the season, Week 17, with the Niners up in Seattle. Seattle has a 31% chance to win the NFC West, a 21% chance to earn the number 1 seed in the NFC.
Okay, great team win. Really pleased with our guys today. Definitely some things that we can clean up, but I thought our defense was outstanding from the start against a great offense that's really been putting a lot of pressure on people. It's a great football team tonight that we played. Coach Carroll and his staff, we have so much respect for that team, his coaching staff and all those guys, and I thought really our team did a nice job responding, and now we got to do a great job next week against the Cowboys.
Who stood out for you on defense?
Well, I think really, Aaron Donald's always a guy that stands out. Dante Fowler with another couple sacks tonight. It was great for Troy Hill. I thought he showed up in a big way tonight, made a bunch of breakups, came up and tackled well, and then to be able to get that pick to cap it off, I thought was great.
Wait on one play, right? It seemed like that opening possession you guys on that third down pass that went from Woods. Just kind of seemed like that was almost like a turning point for your offense to really find a rhythm. How do you look at that series?
You talking about which play?
That very opening series when you guys had like 3rd and 4.
Oh, yeah, that was you talking about on the first drive of the game? Yeah, I think just to be able to get some momentum, to really score on your first 2 opening drives, and really we scored on 3 of our first 4. We had the 1 3 and out on the 3rd series, but I thought that was big. It was a great job by Jared sitting in there, delivered a good ball, and then we were able to get some momentum going, and then to be able to punch it in, was big for us. So I thought Jared did a great job, and I love the way more than anything that he responded from a couple things that, just some miscommunication, and then, give credit to Diggs. He made a nice play on the one pick that he ended up taking back the other way.
The first half, it seemed like you guys kind of picked up where you left
left off at Arizona offensively.
Yep.
Do you feel like the offense is starting to get a little bit of a rhythm?
I think the 2 weeks, I think we've been into a rhythm because really, that's a great defense we played tonight. And some of the things that led to stops, they did a great job, but there's also very correctable things. And I like the way that our guys just continue to compete. Love the way that we wrapped it up. But you're only as good as your last game. And now we got to move forward and put together a good performance. But I think when you see the 2 games that we've had the last couple weeks, that's more in alignment of what we want to be while knowing that there's always going to be things we can improve on.
Back-to-back best performances for Tyler Higbee.
All right, so that's a huge win for the Rams. However, their chances to make the playoffs, according to the Football Power Index, just 22%. Would have been down to 4% had they lost. The Eagles, they make it based solely on their chance to win the NFC East, so the Rams don't have to worry about them in the wild card race. As it stands, the Rams are a game behind the Vikings for the 6th spot. Seahawks, still a 99% chance to reach the playoffs.
In this game at all, here in the third, Goff. This time, the receiver will stop running the route, and the defensive back won't. Quandre Diggs takes it, and he is untouched. That is a pick 6, easy-like, almost like he threw it right to him. So it's 21-9. PAT missed wide. Later in the third, there's Aaron Donald. That guy's a menace. Takes down number 3. Seahawks going to have to punt there. Fourth quarter, Rams trying to put this thing away. It's 21-9. Todd Gurley, a little more use from his head coach Sean McVay recently. Takes that one in 28-12, and the Seahawks couldn't really mount anything to come back after that. And the Rams get to 8-5, still on the outside there. No wild card picture, but pick up a big win because you lose that one. Go to 7-6, they're cooked. Goff didn't throw for a bunch of yards Sunday, not as many as he did in Week 5 against the Hawks, but he was certainly more efficient. 71% of his passes were complete, averaged 9.5 yards per attempt. Had a second pick, but that one was like pass as good as a pick. Pinned him down there inside the 5. He's off target on just 10% of his attempts, his best rate in any game this season. We look at the playoff picture right now, and 49ers, who were in the 5 spot, jump up to number 1. The Packers, a little better conference record at 2 over the Saints. The Cowboys, 6-7, still right there. Looking like they're going to host a home playoff game over the Seahawks or the Vikings, and they're the Rams lurking. Kenny Mayne.
Here's Ryan on board for some analysis. I ran into you in the hall and said my home team not doing it. You said they always find ways to win. This one, they did not.
It was a little bit different today.
They did not score an offensive touchdown for the first time in forever and a day. And the Rams reverted back to the offense that
absolutely
gave them such fame last season. Goff was good. Gurley was good. How did they do it?
Well, they started out early, and it was really Robert Woods early on in the game, and then a huge play by Jared Goff in the first part of the second half to get them off the goal line that led to another touchdown. When you see what Sean McVay was able to do, he started to use crossers that would confuse and kind of mix up the Seattle Seahawks in their zone and also their man coverages. Here in the end zone, they have a stretch run away. They get Todd Gurley to the flat. Robert Woods is able to get open. And here was the play of the second half. They were backed up. It was a huge play for them. They got out of their red zone or out of their own end zone and were able to push the ball down the field and get a touchdown. And that was the final touchdown to make it 28 and put them up big on this team and kind of salt the game away. If you're the Rams, you're trying to find ways to get Jared Goff involved. He had a great game against the Arizona Cardinals, and you kind of thought to yourself, well, that's the Cardinals. That defense isn't very good. He comes out, does the same thing against the Seattle Seahawks, and people have to remember, when these two teams played in Seattle, it came down to a missed field goal by the Los Angeles Rams. These teams are closely matched. Russell Wilson couldn't find ways to get it done tonight.
Rams have had a lot of doubters this season just because they didn't look as dynamic as they did every week last season, lighten up the numbers. And maybe the answer is in the question, how important was this? They knew they had to get this to get momentum to get back in the playoffs.
Listen, this game was huge. The Seattle Seahawks found a way to beat the Minnesota Vikings last week, so it put the Los Angeles Rams back in the playoff hunt for the wild card, but they had to win this game. The NFC West is the best division in football. So when you have to play the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks, you have to make sure you can get these wins. And tonight, the Rams came through. They got a win. They're still one game behind the Minnesota Vikings. But for the Seattle Seahawks, you've now placed yourself at a deficit when it comes to the San Francisco 49ers and possibly having a chance to host playoff games this postseason.
You played, so you know the game ends, you get ready for the next game, and that's all there is to it. But how disappointing is this playing right back? Because With the result down in New Orleans, Seattle had a chance to take over number one in the whole conference.
I think if you're Seattle, Kenny, you've realized that you've been winning by the skin of your teeth. A lot of these games have been close, and they found ways to win it because of their quarterback, because of their great coach. You see what happens in New Orleans with the San Francisco 49ers, how Kyle Shanahan, that offense, Jimmy G, George Kittle find a way to win. So you know what you need to do when you walk into the stadium tonight. And they just didn't do it. They didn't look prepared. They weren't the team with the most energy. And that's not what we're used to seeing from the Seattle Seahawks. And so now, going down the stretch, they have some big games. They go on the road again, and they will see the San Francisco 49ers at home in Week 17. They need to win games. They need to be prepared because the San Francisco 49ers look like the real deal and the best team in the NFC right now.
All right, stand by. More from you right now. We go out to L.A. Josina with the winning quarterback, Jared Goff.
Yeah, we were rolling pretty good. We were running the ball well, moving off our spot well, and protecting well. And this team's a tough team to play, and we did a good job.
All right, can you also just kind of tell me what happened on the two picks by Quandre Diggs and what you learned from those?
Yeah, he's a good player. He made some good plays, and I just made a couple mistakes there. I can't do that, especially when we have the lead like that. Just take care of the football, and glad we got away with the W, though.
So what kind of statement do you feel like you guys have made in the NFC, just especially kind of reminding teams that you're still out there?
We're still in this thing. We're still in this thing. We got some fight to us, so see what happens.
And lastly, you want to say anything about your defense? They came up with 5 sacks, too, tonight.
They did their thing today. They did their thing. They'll keep that rolling. I'm proud of them. They're freaking balling.
All right, well, we appreciate your time, Jared.
Thank you, Justina.
All right, back to you guys.
Jared Goff, all sorts of statistics. Let's give you some of them. Heating up lately, completed 73% of his passes. His last 2 games is averaging close to 10 yards per attempt. His cut and his off rate, or let me start that again. He has cut his off rate target in half from the first 11 games. He's thrown more touchdowns than interceptions. A lot of gobbledygook for me, but anyway, the numbers have gone up. We need you soon because John's about to describe the best game of the